haven't been live by myself probably in like 3 months. No, 2 months. I don't really know. It doesn't really matter. But anyways, can somebody let me know if you can hear me? Because at this point, I'm now talking to myself, I think maybe. And I don't know if my sound is working properly. So I don't want to continue talking to myself because that would be really embarrassing. I just heard myself come through in my AirPod, though. I can hear you. Yay. Okay, awesome. Well, I'm glad that you can hear me. So welcome everybody in. If this is your first live experience with me, if this is your first live experience for me, buckle up. You're in for a ride. Okay. Okay. How can I already be off the rails and the live is 3 minutes in? So welcome everybody in. If this is your first time here, just so you know what I do when I go live is I just talk about whatever I want to talk about. Sometimes it works very well and I am not inappropriate and we just talk about whatever. And then any questions that people have, obviously I'll answer any questions, but I just thought I need to do a better job at going live. And I told my members earlier this week, if you're not a member, you should become a member and you could get all the behind the scenes things when it comes to me. It seems like there's cars racing outside. So this is great. I live in a neighborhood and it sounds like they're racing down the street. So that is fantastic. So if you hear loud noises outside, I am sorry. There are races happening. And if you don't hear the noises outside, then that means that this microphone is impeccable. And I love that for me. So there's that. But I'm going to try to do a better job as the off season continues to go, that I am at least live one time a week. My plan is to do it on Fridays. Fridays are my easiest times to kind of do this. And I want to do it like between 4 and 6. I'm in Central. So between like 4 and 6 or like 4 or 6:30, I'm kind of stretching it there, but that's what I want to do because I just think it's fun. And a lot of people are like, can you go? I have a question. I want this. And I'm like, if I have a certain time that I can go live, you can always see me and ask your questions. So that is what I'm going to try to do. So welcome everybody here. I am super excited that you're here. I can see your comments. I love that. So I can see Michael's comment. Hello there. 17th in .o. I wonder where you're from. I wonder what that name signifies. I can hear you. The queen is on. Welcome. And then I love me some Steelers hearts, some black and yellow hearts. That is amazing. So welcome everybody in. I hope everyone is having a great week. Also, I just finished the NFC East series for this week. The NFC East was this week. If you did not watch any of the NFC East videos, you are missing out because I had some amazing people, some great conversations. That was fun. I have already recorded the episode that is going to release on Sunday. I already know what division is releasing on Sunday, and I'm so excited for the next division. So yeah, as you roll in here, welcome everyone. I am live. If you see me on the screen and you're shocked that you're seeing me on the screen live, just know that your screen is not deceiving you. I am actually live. There are some things though that have been happening lately, and I've been seeing a couple of things. And for those of you that are new following me, just so you know, usually during this time, I don't usually make like independent videos about things that are happening, about one-off things, because it's like I have a series running and I don't like to interrupt those videos just to be like, hey, I saw this in the news today. What do you think? This is what I think. Okay, thank you for being here. I'll see you later. But because I'm going live, I thought this was like a great opportunity to state my feelings on certain things. And yes, I'm totally aware, like the NFL schedule came out. My hair, anyways. And yes, I'm aware the NFL schedule came out. Obviously, I'm totally aware. And I saw schedules, but like I didn't really pay much attention to it because I just didn't really pay much attention to it. I'll just say that. I feel like the schedule coming out is like, it's cool, right? Like if you're going to games, you know, when you can travel, all those things. I'll be honest, for me, what I usually do once the NFL schedule comes out, I start to look at my college football teams, and then I'll look at my NFL team and I'll try to figure out if I can travel. If there's a bye week, like how are the bye weeks working? If there's a bye week at the same time, because my issue is it's really hard for me to travel when all 3 of my teams are playing because I want to watch them. Like I have to watch. I need to sit and I need to watch every single thing that's going on. So for me, when the schedule comes out, it's like, okay, before I can even like break down the schedule per se, I actually have to break down my own personal calendar to see if I personally like the schedule. So there's that. So yes, I saw it. And in my Steelers, I don't know what's going on with their quarterback situation. So for me, I have nothing to say about the schedule because I don't know who the quarterback's going to be. But I do have some thoughts about the matchups and when the games are played. And obviously, I am, for those of you that don't know, on Sundays, I am on with Arthur Motes on his channel exclusively. And myself and Mark Bergen actually break down different things. I'm sure we'll talk about the schedule then. So I have 2 days to do some research before I have to talk about the schedule. So yes, I'm aware the schedule is out and I don't really have much to say unless the only thing I do have to say is I strongly dislike traveling to different countries for football games. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. And I did see somewhere, I think it's the Eagles, or maybe it's this year. There's some teams that are traveling internationally 1 week and then the next week they don't have a bye week. So it's like we're already acting like traveling isn't a big deal. And then you don't even get a bye week after you've traveled outside of the country. The NFL is just doing what they're doing. So I can't be too shocked. I honestly can't be too shocked. They do what they do and it is what it is. So it's disgusting. And I've talked about that so much that I don't even want to talk about that. But one thing I do want to talk about, because I've been in a lot of ways biting my tongue and just almost ignoring this whole thing, is I want to talk about Shedeur Sanders for a minute because here are my thoughts about Shedeur. Shedeur is a second-year quarterback. He plays for the Cleveland Browns. He got drafted in the 5th round. And those are just the facts. So no matter what my fandom is telling me of how I feel about Shedeur Sanders, I can't rush to all of these things and act like he deserves a starting position when I know that the Cleveland Browns are paying Deshaun Watson $50 million and they need to see what that asset's like. They need to understand, what is Deshaun Watson? Is Deshaun Watson going to be bad? Is he going to be able to complete a pass? Is he recovered? Has he healed? For a lot of reasons, they need to know this about Deshaun Watson. And for the main reason is because if Deshaun Watson has anything left in his tank, they are either going to want to keep him in Cleveland, or he is going to be tremendous trade bait or a great asset for the Cleveland Browns to be able to use later. So I expect Deshaun Watson to actually be the quarterback week 1, unless he is awful. He's making too much money not to be the quarterback in week 1. He just is. This is a business. So no matter what I think about Shedeur Sanders and his skill set, how he finished the season, to be honest with you, I don't think he looked that great finishing the season. He looked great when he started, and then towards the end of the season, he started holding onto the ball too long. That's just what I think. Does that mean he sucks? No. Does that mean I want to see him play? Yes. But the truth is the truth. So for me, when I'm looking at the Cleveland Browns, I am thinking this. I am thinking they still have a very young team. They have an offensive line that still needs to figure themselves out. They have a lot of moving parts and things they need to figure out. And they're going to have a lot, 2 rookies that I think are actually going to play. And an offensive line they're trying to work to fix. And they have a $50+ million quarterback on their hands. So do I expect Shedeur Sanders to be the starter week 1? No. As long as Deshaun Watson is in Cleveland, I expect Deshaun Watson to be the week 1 starter. Full stop. Now, if they release him, that's a different conversation. The other thing I feel like is missing from this conversation is Dillon Gabriel is still there. I'm not saying he should be the starter. What I'm saying is the fact that it's Deshaun Watson and Shedeur Sanders and not Deshaun Watson, Dillon Gabriel, and Shedeur Sanders, that is a win. I feel like it's like we live in this world where we want Shedeur Sanders to be the starter right now. He has to start today, full stop. He's the best they have. It is, respectfully, it is the Cleveland Browns. Okay. For those of you that don't know the history of the Cleveland Browns, look up the history of the Cleveland Browns. They cannot figure it out regardless. So the fact that you think this organization that half the time doesn't have it figured out, that you think now they're going to have it figured out because they have Shedeur Sanders and they're going to make the right decision. I think that is not intellectually honest. That is not, no, absolutely not. So for me, my money and my time, I expect Deshaun Watson to be the starter week 1. And if Shedeur Sanders is the backup quarterback in week 1, that is a win for Shedeur, because last year he didn't start off there. Last year he was 3rd string. Then he worked his way. He ended the season. I don't think he looked good to end the season. That is my personal opinion. Now, you can say he didn't look good because the offensive line didn't look good. That's fair. You can say he didn't look good because he didn't have any weapons. That's also fair. You can also look at his play and realize his play wasn't that great. So if your play is not that great, now you have a new coach. Now the new coach is coming in. The new coach needs to see what their $50 million quarterback is going to do. Why? Because he's getting paid $50 million. So for me, as a businesswoman, it makes all the sense in the world that Deshaun Watson is going to get every single opportunity to fail for the Cleveland Browns because they're paying him $50 million. And if he happens to look good, then they need to figure out, okay, are we going to keep Deshaun Watson? Are we going to trade some of our other assets? What are we going to do? That is just my honest football opinion. So I get that a lot of people are like, Shedeur Sanders, because he started last year. That's great. But now you have a $50 million guy who is coming back. That's just reality. This is a business. So no matter how much I want Shedeur to be the quarterback, I want Shedeur to be the quarterback. I'm a Shedeur fan. I'm a Shedeur supporter. I want him to be the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns for the next 15 years. That's what I want. But the reality is there's 50 million reasons why that's not going to happen week one, unless Deshaun Watson is let go and they release him and they just pay him $50 million to do nothing. Or if in training camp, he's awful. That's just how it's going to be. That is how this league goes. So that is my first tangent I'm going on. I get it. I don't understand why people get all up in arms. They're like, oh my God, Shedeur, he has to start. He finished the season. Did y'all watch him finish the season? Y'all thought he played good when he finished the season? I don't think he looked good against the Bears. He didn't look that great against the Titans. He didn't look that great against my Steelers. I mean, I could go down the list of the games I watched him play because I watched him play all the games. And he didn't look that great. I mean, we can act like he did, and that's fine. Then you can excuse it away, and you can say it's because it's his offensive line and all those things. But he still was processing the ball slow. He was still turning the ball over. So my whole point is, let's not act like he finished the season. He was remarkable. And now that he played a remarkable season, we're acting like he had like a Jane Daniels type of season, and he was so remarkable. So how dare Deshaun Watson come in? Deshaun Watson's making $50 million. Period. Full stop. Are you telling me in your life, if you had this big asset that you would just keep it in the garage? If you spent $1 million on a brand new Ferrari, I don't know why you spent $1 million on a Ferrari, but if you spent $1 million on a Ferrari, are you just going to keep your Ferrari in the garage because you have a Toyota Corolla and the Toyota Corolla runs great? No, you're not. You're going to go and you're going to drive that thing and you're going to see how it works. So I just miss me with the Shedeur Sanders deserve. He doesn't deserve anything. He doesn't. That's not how this works. This is a business. He doesn't deserve anything. So that's my first tangent that I'm going to go on because that is how I feel. I think I'm just tired of hearing everybody talked about all of the stuff because I just know it's just a no for me. And then the second thing that I am seeing or hearing or whatevering is a 2014 playoffs for college football. No, no. Okay. That's how I feel about it. And the reason why I'm a no is because if you have 24 teams make the playoffs, what does that do to the regular season? Because you can't have 12 games in a regular season and then have a 24 team playoff. The season's going to end in March or April. So if you do that, if you have 24 teams, you are changing the regular season. So what are we changing it to? How are we determining that? What's the change? Are we changing it? And we're going to say, okay, now the regular season is 8 games. Okay, but what about the 24 teams that don't get into the playoffs? And every time I come up with an idea, the only thing anybody can ever say back to me is money. Cool. So if we use that same excuse here and we say money is the issue, so how are we supposed to do this? If teams only play 8 games or 10 games, people are losing money. So what are we doing here? So you're going to have a 24 team playoffs. That means the regular season is irrelevant. Why are we playing the regular season then? Why don't we just play 6 games and then put them in a tournament? So 24 games is absolutely ridiculous. The other thing that is absolutely ridiculous is it feels like we're trying to do everything, but actually fix the problems. I'm respectfully, respectfully, there are not 24 teams in college football that even deserve the chance to play for a championship. That's racing outside, if you can hear it. So the way that I look at this is I can't even name 24 teams that I think are good to play for a national championship. The reason why I say that is if you go look at any season and you look at the very beginning of the season and you see the rankings at the very beginning of the season, and then you look at the rankings at the very end of the season, usually the top 16 teams kind of stay the same, right? They might switch, flip, change, whatever. But if somebody gets hurt, obviously it's going to change pretty dramatically, right? Because usually, like, let's say your starting running back goes out or whatever, that's probably going to change your ability to win games. Okay, cool. So now you're telling me that every year that we've had rankings, 1 through 25 comes out whenever it comes out, right? So it comes out, those top 16 very rarely change too dramatically. I'll even take Texas. So Texas starts the season last year, number 1. In the middle of the season, they were struggling. So I think we dropped out of the top 25, if I'm not mistaken. By the time the season was over, I think we finished ranked 14, 15, 16, whatever it was, okay? My point is we even dropped out, but we came back in because the truth of the matter is we're a good football team. Whether or not you like us or not, we're a good football team. I didn't say we're great. I said we're good, right? And usually good teams are always going to find their way back to the top. So I always say, don't look at the middle for a way to figure out how teams are doing. Go look at the beginning and the end. Go look, and don't just look. I've done this, obviously. Don't just look last year. Go look for the past 5 years. Go look at who is ranked 1st through 25 at the beginning of the season. Go to the end of the year and see who's ranked 1 through 25 or 1 through 16. It's usually 1 through 16 is usually spot on. Why? Because there's about 16 to 20 programs that are just that. That is who they are. There's always a couple that will sneak in, but the truth of the matter is those 16 teams are the 16. And so whether they're 16, whether Texas is 16, 10, 5, or 3, they are one of the 16. Whether Ohio State is 1, 5, 10, they're one of the 16. Whether Georgia is 1, 7, 5, like all the top teams are the top teams. So when you expand to 24, why are we expanding to 24? The same teams are still the same teams. So that's why for me, I'm like, what are we doing? What is the actual point of this? And what is it going to impact? If you make it to 24, what else are you impacting? Are you impacting the regular season? Is that what we're going to do? So yeah, that is my spill on that. I think it's ridiculous. They always try to come up with all of these things that they're like, oh, let's do it this way. I'm like, this is such an easy fix. I don't know why we're acting like it's not an easy fix, but it's an easy fix. And the more games you add onto the playoffs, the more negative that's going to have on the regular season. It just is. Like, these are college athletes. And when are we finishing the season? March 17th, April 4th. And then if you impact the game that much, now when is spring camp? When it 24 games is ridiculous to me. I already have a working theory that I'm trying to see how the college football season goes this year to see who the top 4 teams are left in the college football playoffs, because I have some theories on that. And that's ending in January, the end of January. So those teams already don't get to start their spring camp because they're still playing football. So by the time February comes, they just finished. If you went to the national championship game, they just started their spring, but other teams started their spring 2 months ago. So you're already 2 months behind. So are we going to keep, like, what are we doing? Just what are we doing? I need somebody to look at a full calendar. I need some grownups in the room. I need somebody to sit down and say, here is why this doesn't make sense. Let's look at it. Let's look at it, a calendar, and figure out some things. So anyways, those are the 2 things that I'm just thinking about. I'm like, this is dumb. This is actually dumb. And I wish somebody would call it out as dumb, because it's just dumb and it doesn't make sense. And if you're going to move the regular season, now we have different issues, because let's be honest, what is there? 132 teams, 134 teams, however many teams are eligible, 24 teams. So again, you're going to be helping the top whatever percent more than you're going to be helping the bottom. And you get money for making the playoffs. You get all these things. So I don't know. They're trying so hard to fix these issues. And it's like, that's not going to fix anything, honestly. So that's just how I feel. It is really weird. It is really weird. So Yeah, so those are the two things I want to rant about. Shedeur Sanders was the first one, and then the 24 college football thing. I think it's ridiculous. I have something else I want to mention too, and it's going to sound really petty. It's really going to sound petty. It is. It really is. But I'm a Steelers fan, and I have to be honest about things. Like as a fan, well, Tipville would say supporter. Maybe I should start saying as a supporter, because then if I say as a supporter, when I say something that's harsh, people don't take it as harsh because I'm like using nice words. Like, why do we have to use nice words? Like, it's sports. We can't just like keep it real. But yeah, let me read James' comment right quick. I don't really follow college football, but it's nice to have a Friday Night Live show with the good doctor. Hey, much appreciated. Thank you. And thank you for being a member. I appreciate you being a member. And I hope that you enjoy all your videos that you get. And then Bill Wells said, whether you keep the Ferrari in the garage or not, it's still going to depreciate in value. 100%. That's why, like, why are we keeping it there? Use it. Like, use it. Because it's being used in a way to not use it anyway. So, like, why not use it? You've spent all of that money. Use it. Why are we spending money and then we're not going to use it? And why not just give him a chance? Like, I don't know. And again, I get it. Like, some people are like, my guy this. And, you know, and Shedeur Sanders. And like, I kind of get it. But then again, I don't. It's like, we've got to be real. We got to be honest. You know what I mean? I just feel like we need to be more honest about what's going on, why it's going on, how it can be helpful, and all of those different things. Because I feel like if we start being honest with what's going on, it's easier to understand. Because let's say the opposite happens, right? Let's say that Deshaun Watson plays. Deshaun Watson is awful. Everybody knows Deshaun Watson is awful, and it just doesn't go well. I'm not wishing him to play bad. I'm just saying he doesn't go well. And guess what happens when you bring in Shedeur Sanders? It is what it is, right? Everything, it's over. It's done because we tried. We gave him options. Like, we gave him this, we gave him that, you know, OTA. Like, he had the momentum. We gave Deshaun Watson every single chance we could for him to be successful, and he's just not successful. So now we move on. That's what you want, because when you move on, guess what? Now it's Shedeur Sanders time. So for me, it's like, I get that it's hard for people to like have a little bit of patience, but you really have to have patience in these situations and let the Cleveland Browns do what they're going to do. So when Shedeur Sanders gets that job, you're not wondering if they're going to take the job away from him. I would rather him wait his turn and then get the job when it's his job. That's just how I feel about the situation. So there's that. So the other thing is too, and if anybody has any questions, drop them in the chat. I will answer any questions. If you want me to answer questions, you don't have to. I'll answer any questions. Well, I reserve the right not to answer questions, but I always try to answer all the questions. But sometimes I don't answer questions because some people are inappropriate when they ask questions. And if you're going to be inappropriate, I'm not going to answer those, but I will answer most questions. So there's that. The other thing I need to say, because I'm a Steelers fan, there's a Drew Allar and Will Howard conversation happening in Steelers Nation. And some Steelers fans feel like Will Howard is the next coming of sweet baby Jesus. And people feel like Drew Allar is awful. And people look at, because Will Howard won a national championship, he is God-like and he's going to come and solve all of our problems. And because Drew Allar played for Penn State and got hurt, he is not going to do that. Here's my issue. If you actually go watch them in college, Will Howard, respectfully, went to Kansas State to start his college career. Will Howard got his job taken by a freshman at Kansas State. Will Howard, as a junior or senior, I don't know what he was, got his job taken by a freshman. He had to start splitting reps with a freshman at Kansas State. And at Kansas State, he could not win big games. Okay? He couldn't, right? If you remember, when Texas played Ohio State, there was a whole thing, and they said, Will Howard has never beaten Texas. Okay? That was when he went to Ohio State. They were like, this is going to be Will Howard's first time beating Texas. Why? Because he played in the Big 12 at Kansas State. He couldn't beat Texas there. Transfers to Ohio State. They win a national championship. I will never take that away from him. On that championship team, just stay with me here. On that championship team, Will Howard had, I believe, 14 people go to the NFL. 14, including himself, 14 people got drafted from Will Howard's college football team. Of those 14 people that got drafted, I believe, I could be wrong here, my math could be a little off. I believe like 6 of those people went in rounds 1 and 2, or 4 of those, whatever it was, went in rounds 1 and 2 in the NFL draft. So what I'm saying is Will Howard played with an NFL style team. His offense got drafted. Okay. Offensive lineman got drafted in the first round, I believe. One of them got drafted in the first round. His receivers got drafted in the first round. His 2 running backs got drafted in the second round. My point is Will Howard was surrounded by NFL talent. And if you don't believe me, the 2025 draft, he had 14 people from Ohio State got drafted. This year, we saw those people that got drafted from Ohio State, the 4 of the top 11 draft picks in the NFL draft this year, Will Howard plays with those people last year as well. So my point is, we have to compare things correctly. We cannot say because Will Howard won a national championship at Ohio State that he's better than Drew Allard. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. The other thing is Will Howard, I believe, is 24, 25 years old. I believe Will Howard's birthday, when I looked it up, is September. So if that's the case, he's going to be 25 in September. Drew is 22. That's a 3-year age difference. So if you're going to tell me that when you watch Will Howard play, to you, because most people don't watch college football, you watch NFL or college football. Usually most people don't watch 2. But if you watch 2, don't tell me what Will Howard did his national championship year. Tell me what Will Howard did before he got there. And then, if you want to tell me what Will Howard did in his championship year, also include the game that he had against Michigan, where he was absolutely atrocious. And they lost. The national championship game lost the game to Michigan 13-10 with Will Howard at their quarterback. So I'm not here to tell you Will Howard is bad. I would never tell you somebody that is in the NFL is bad. That is not my goal. I am not here to tell you that Will Howard is bad. That is not my goal. What I'm here to do is provide you some more information so that when you look at Will Howard, you look at the complete picture of Will Howard. He's 3 years older than Drew Allard. He had a stocked roster for 2 years. I mean, he had a stocked roster for 1 year. And then this year, those guys that he played with last year just now got drafted. And he transferred in because he got his job taken by a freshman. Don't believe me? Go look it up. Just go look it up. So my whole point is, as Steelers fans, we're like, Will Howard, because he won a national championship. Well, respectfully, I think that a lot of quarterbacks, if they were throwing to that receiver group and had a first rounder playing offensive line and a first rounder at receiver and 2 second round running backs, I think most of us could have done fairly well. I mean, obviously I wouldn't have won a national championship because I can throw a football, but it doesn't look great. So my point is like, before you come down on Drew, look at what Will Howard had. Look at all of the things that he had. And just for context, go look at how many people got drafted from Penn State's offense last year. Go look at how many people got drafted from Penn State's offense this year. So you're telling me comparing Drew to Will is apples and oranges. They're not the same quarterback. They're just not the same quarterback. So we really have to stop comparing those two because they're not the same. They're not the same quarterback. They weren't even taken in the same round. They didn't play for the same caliber of offense. They're not the same age. They didn't have the same college experience. Drew never got his job taken. Like, I could go on and on and on and on and on. They're not the same. They're just not the same. And that's how I feel. So whenever somebody's like, who do you want to be the Steelers quarterback? I don't know who I want to be the Steelers quarterback, because to me, I see the current quarterbacks. I see all 3 of them completely different. I see Mason Rudolph. He has NFL experience and cool. I see Will Howard. I've never seen him do anything in the NFL. He hasn't taken a single snap. He didn't play in the preseason. He got hurt. I haven't seen Will Howard do anything in the NFL. Not one time, nothing. I haven't seen it. And I haven't seen Drew do anything in the NFL. So if you're asking me who I want to play, I don't have an opinion because I don't know. I don't get to see these guys practice every day. I don't get to see who's watching film. I don't know. And I cannot look at college and compare them because that's not the same. Like, that's insane. So again, that's my other rant. But it's just like, we have to stop assuming just because guys like came from college, they're all the same. All colleges are not created equal. They're just not. Ohio State arguably has a top 3 program in college football for the past 10 years if you average it out. I might even give you 15, 20 years at this point. Ohio State is an amazing college football program. You cannot compare Ohio State to Penn State. That's not the same. Respectfully, it's not the same. So, I'm just saying. Now, if you want to argue with me that Ohio State is in a top 3 college football program for the last 10 years, for the last 20 years, fine, let's have that argument. But if they're not top 3, they're top 5. And I know Penn State is not even close to that. So I'm just because some players come out of Penn State that are good, it doesn't mean it's the same. So we have to stop, as Steelers fans, acting like we know what Will Howard's going to do because he won a national championship throwing the ball to Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate, Henderson's their running back. Like, that's not, like, come on. Like, just stop. Just stop. So that is my spill about that. So those are the 3 things I needed to get off my chest because I am sick and tired of hearing people talk about these things. And I'm like, research, like, you can actually Google the things that I'm saying. I'm not making these things up. You can actually Google them. I happen to watch the game. So I know what's happening in college football. I happen to be a college football fan. I'm watching it. So the fact that Will Howard gets drafted in the 6th round to the Pittsburgh Steelers and everybody thinks that he's the best thing that ever got drafted, I think is insane. Now, does this mean Will Howard can't be amazing? No. Does this mean Will Howard won't be amazing? No. Does this mean Will Howard can't be better than Drew Allard? No. Does this mean that I'm picking Drew over Will? No. Does this mean I'm picking Will over Drew? No. This just means that I'm giving you context to what we're actually watching, not what you think we're watching because he won a national championship. What we're actually watching, what we're actually seeing, who actually got drafted. I will just get off that soapbox, but obviously I've been holding that in for a long time. But we just have to stop making these things up because we think these players are something they're not. You can go Google every single thing that I just said is all Googleable. I'm not making it up. I am not making it up. In fact, if you have friends that watch college football, ask them the Ohio State question. Ask them to name you 4 other schools that have the consistency of 10-win seasons like the Ohio State Buckeyes in football. Ask them. I don't know if anybody does. I mean, yeah, you can. Obviously, most people would say Alabama because that's what they know, which is fine. But like, who else would you say? Who else? If I was naming like top schools for the past 10, 15, 20 years in college football, how do you not name Ohio State? So anyways, and then ask that same college football fan, where would you put Penn State? Where would you rank them on scale of, best for the past 10, 15 years? Where would you rank Penn State? Honestly, where would you rank them? I mean, come on. And respectfully, now it feels like I'm knocking on Penn State. I'm not. It's just they're not Ohio State. Most of us know all the players that have come out of Penn State because they're stars, right? We know Saquon Barkley. We know Micah Parsons. Like, we know the guys, right? Think about how many guys you know from Ohio State. I mean, think about how many people you know from Ohio State that aren't even out yet, that are still in college. Now do the same thing for Penn State. Who do you know right now that's going to Penn State that hasn't graduated? I mean, unless you watch college football, you're like, I don't know anybody there, because you don't. But if you don't even watch college football and you know that Jeremiah Smith is at Ohio State and you know that Julian Sands is their quarterback, that's my whole point. So I'm just saying, like, it's not apples to oranges. I've made my point. I will leave it alone. I will let it go. But it's like, let's just start comparing things that are correct. That would be amazing. So anyways, that was my 3rd tangent that I needed to talk about. And maybe I need to start doing this every week so I can just come up, get it all out of my system and be like, here's all the things that I feel, because I feel like sometimes we miss the point. We're arguing the wrong things. I'm like, why are we, oh my gosh, I don't know. respectfully, both of them could be bad. Both of them could be good. We don't know. We honestly do not know. And before somebody asks me, I have no idea what's happening with Aaron Rodgers. Okay. I don't know. I just don't know. All right. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Aaron Rodgers. Don't ask me. But anyways, I've just been up here rambling. So if you are just coming in, or if you've been here, welcome everyone. I am going to try to start going live at least one time a week. My goal is to go live on Fridays. That is my goal, because Fridays are the best day for me. And I feel like I usually am more in a like get organized mode on Friday. So it's a better day for me to go live. So I'll do that. And then I'm not going to be up here long. I'm probably just going to do like an hour or so a week just to kind of be like, hi, what's going on? Obviously, if there's something bothering me, I'm going to let it out and talk about it. But otherwise, I just think it's cool to just interact. I haven't really done a great job of interacting like I probably should. I feel like I make so many videos sometimes that I feel like I'm like, hey, I post a picture every Monday and I make so many videos. Like, people see me. It's fine. And you know what? Maybe I should just go live more. Maybe I should do this more so people can actually like see me, interact with me, ask me questions, whatever. So here I am. So if you are here and you're shocked to see me on the screen, welcome. Welcome. I'm here. But no, seriously, does anybody have any like questions or anything like that? I'll answer them. And then, yeah. And if you don't have any questions, that's totally fine. I'm just here. You know, I told myself that for those of you that don't know, I'm about to go off on a tangent. So welcome. If you're a member, you're used to my tangent. So there's that. But you know what, I will drop my membership link if anybody wants to join. So one of the things that I like to do in life is I live life on like a 90-day cycle. So a lot of people, I just dropped my membership link in there. If you want to join and be behind the scenes, my members, that is where all the breaking news happens. And when I just like talk to the camera and shoot the shit with the camera, honestly. But, so I'm a 90-day planner. So I know a lot of people plan things like at the beginning of the year or at the end of the year or whatever. I plan things every 90 days. So what I try to do is like every 90 days, I try to like reassess what I'm doing. I try to see I just try to see like what's going on and try to take inventory. But for me, because a lot of my life is surrounded around content and football season, my 90 days is a little bit off. And so I remember in February when I did my February challenge where I was recording every single day, in my mind, I was like, this might be easier if I just like went live every day, because it's a lot of work to like find a location, go outside to get ready, the weather, all the stuff. Right. And so I was like, why don't I just go live every day and just do a live stream every day? And I was like, I'm not going to do that, but I do need to go live more. So anyway, so I was like, okay, maybe after this 90 days, because I had a 90-day window when the Super Bowl was over. So February to May was my 90 days. And so then like in May, I was like, let me see what I can do. So obviously it's now May. And I was like, well, why don't I just go live a little bit and see how that works and see, if people like it or see if I like it. And it's kind of cool because I don't have to like edit and do things, and I can just like talk about what's going on and talk about what's happening. And so, yeah, so I'm going to try to do, so my goal, okay, my goal is to do this once a week. Fridays, I want to be my days. The problem with that though is my birthday is in 2 weeks. So I'm not going to be live on my birthday. So I'll probably do it the day before or something like that, because I'm not going live on my birthday. So that might be like Thursday. Anyways, we'll figure that out. But my whole point is like, I just wanted to try something different. So my hope is for the next 90 days, for the entire month of May, the entire month of June, a little bit of July, is to go live at least one time a week. That is my goal. And if I can do that, I'm going to be pretty proud of myself, honestly, if I can pull it off. So there's that. So, yeah. So what does James says? So that's why my friends that are college football fans goof on me when I talk about Will Howard. Makes sense. Absolutely. And that's why I wanted to, yes, James, that is why. And that is why I wanted to give the background of Will Howard. It's not to say that I don't think he's going to be good or that I think he sucks. I'm not saying that. He's in the NFL. He got drafted. Like, he's not. If he was terrible, he wouldn't have gotten drafted. But there's more to the story than him winning a national championship. There just is. And there, just like with Drew, I mean, Drew was projected before the season started last year to be absolutely phenomenal and to be a potential top 5 draft pick, or to go in first round because people thought he had first round talent. That's fantastic. I could be wrong here. I don't think I ever heard anybody say that they think Will Howard has first round talent. I just haven't heard that. If they've said it, that's fine. But because Drew had first round talent, it's because his arm. He has a very big arm. He's a big guy. He has a big arm, big guy. Okay, that's first round talent. Then Penn State doesn't play well. His offense has never been good. And then he gets hurt. Season's over, he gets hurt. So now that's just where he's at. So that's why for me, it's like when I'm looking at Will Howard and what he actually was to college football from somebody that watched college football, no, like, so that's why for me, it's different. So yes, that is why your friends are looking at you like, why are you talking about Will Howard like this? Because when you watch college football, Will Howard was just a guy. Will Howard was a guy that came from Kansas State that went to go chase a ring at Ohio State, respectfully. He got that ring, but I'm just saying he got his job taken at Ohio State. Got his job taken at Kansas State. And for those of you that will watch this on playback and you don't believe me that he got his job taken at Kansas State, the quarterback that took his job is Avery Johnson. He had to start splitting time with Avery Johnson as a quarterback. And I believe he had started at Kansas State for like 3 years. So a 3-year starter, a freshman walks in, and you now have to split reps. I'm sorry. I don't know what kind of football you watch, but the kind of football I watch is, you don't have to start splitting reps with the rookie or the new guy if you're really good. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's it. I'll get off that soapbox. So, hey, by the way, I know Aaron Rodgers is staying and hiding with Dr. T. Just tell him to sign already. That's funny. Yeah, I don't know what Aaron Rodgers is doing. I have no idea what is going on with him. Hey, Motivated and Dedicated. So, Motivated, I have a question for you because I know you watch college football. If you had to rank college football programs, if you had to rank college football programs over the past 10 to 15 years, would you say Ohio State was in the top 3 of college football programs? Would you say that Ohio State was in the top 3 of college football programs from the last 10 to 15 years? If you don't give them in the top 3, would you give them top 5? And depending on whatever your answer is, I'll put it on the screen because you don't have to agree with me. And then after you rank them, I'm going to ask you to rank where you think Penn State is, because I'm trying to figure out who college football fans perceive as the better program. So if you can answer that for me, that would be fantastic. And then your Steelers play my Dirty Birds in week 1. Yeah, I saw that. I totally saw that. Okay. So over the past 15 years, they're definitely in the top 5. Easy. Perfect. Where would you rank Penn State? If Ohio State is in the top 5, where would you rank Penn State over the last 10, 15 years? Let me get to the super chat. It is kind of appropriate, but I'll let you make it because it's kind of funny, kind of not. So and you're still going to get a thank you. I'm still going to play the thank you. So how many TDs will Dak get? That's a really good question. How many TDs do I think Dak will get? I'm going to give Dak, I haven't looked at the schedule, so this is just me going just rogue at this point. I'm going to give Dak 38 touchdowns. 7 games. I'm going to give Dak, yes, I'm going to give Dak 37, 38 touchdowns. Final answer. And thank you so much for your super chat. Here's a thank you. So thank you for sending through the super chat. Yes, I have a multitude of videos. Yes, I need to update the videos. Okay, I will admit I need to update the videos, I need to add some new pictures and things like that. But yeah, I think Dak is going to get that many touchdowns. So, okay. So Penn State is not in the top 5. I would rank Penn State in the top 20, around 16 or 17. Okay, so there is your answer for all of you people that don't watch college football that are trying to compare Will Howard and Ohio State Buckeyes from the Ohio State to Drew, who will come from 2 completely different programs. If Ohio State is a top 5 program over the past 10 to 15 years and Penn State is in the top 20, those aren't the same schools. They are not the same schools. They are not the same schools. I think my point is made. Thank you, Motivated and Dedicated. I appreciate that. Hey, how are you? Let's go, Lady T. Happy Friday. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. I appreciate that. Cowboys schedule is scary. Let's look at the Cowboys schedule. I still think that offense is going to be able to score points though. I like Dak. I like George Pickens. I like CeeDee Lamb. I don't know. That one thing that offense is going to do is they're going to find the end zone. They're going to score points. Like if they do nothing else, they are going to score points. So that is just what they're going to do. And because of that, how are you kidding me? Like, who is a scarier duo in the red zone than CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens? And that's just in the red zone. That doesn't mean like outside of the red zone. Okay, let me look at their schedule. Dallas Cowboys schedule 2016. Let's see what we got. Okay. So first game of the season is the Giants. Okay. Giants, Commanders, Ravens, Texans, Bucks, Packers, Eagles, Cardinals, Colts, 49ers, Titans, Eagles, Seahawks, Rams, Jaguars, Giants, Commanders. Damn. That is brutal. You're right. Oh my gosh. That is brutal. If you're watching this and you are a Cowboys fan, oh my God. At least your team can score points. At least your team can score points. Okay. This is brutal. Okay. This is brutal. However, let me give you something because I might know a little something because I have managed to talk to fans around the NFL. Okay. So let me just tell you something. Let me fill you in on something. Giants secondary, questionable. Commander secondary, questionable. Ravens defense, pass rush secondary, questionable. Texans defense, impeccable. Bucks defense, I'm not really sure. Packers secondary, needs work. Eagles will be the Eagles. Cardinals, Colts, guess what? Their secondary also needs work, okay? 49ers, I'll say that's a wash for now. Titans, y'all should be able to beat the Titans. Eagles, we all know what that is. Seahawks, we all know what that is. The Rams, we all know what that is. Jaguars, we all know what that is too. And then you have the Giants again with that secondary, and then you have the Commanders again with that secondary. So my point is, is it the schedule hard? Yes, by name recognition of teams. But where the Cowboys should be absolutely incredible as far as offense, playing against these teams where their defense is a little bit wonky, that could help. So I'm just saying, yes, the schedule looks brutal. I will give you that. But there is some light at the end of there. There is some light. You just have to hope that Dak doesn't throw the ball to the other team more than once. And you guys have a good field goal kicker. So that's what I got for you. All right. Penn State won their last conference championship in 2016. The last national championship was 1986. Therefore, proving my point even further. Penn State, Ohio State is not the same thing at all. So you said, yeah, I think this is you agreeing with me with my schedule. Yeah, the schedule looks brutal. I'll give you that. So George Pickens needs to leave the Cowboys and come back home to Georgia to my Falcons. Good old George Pickens. Ball. I appreciate that. I try to know a little something, I try to know a little something, and I try to look at things further than just like the team logo. And that is why I do my NFL fan series, is because I want to hear what fans are thinking, because I have my own thoughts, right? Like I have my own opinions. And in those conversations, every conversation that will come out, you will see like it's an engaging conversation because I'm actually curious. Like, this is what I think. What do you think? This is what I think. What do you think? And so, yeah, I pride myself on knowing a little. I also pride myself on not just looking at a team and being like, oh my gosh, it is the Ravens or it is the Packers or it is the whatever. Like, who are they now? because who they were historically is not who they are now. You know what I'm saying? So it's really important to me to not just like look at them. And then I'm not breaking down this schedule because I'm live and I just respectfully, the Cowboys aren't my team. But if I was looking at this schedule and I was a fan of the Cowboys, I would be looking at a couple of things. First, obviously look at who they're playing, look at when they're home and away, and then look at who the other team is playing before they play your team. That is usually a pretty good indicator because there's certain teams that once they play a team, like, for example, I'm making this up, but go with me. If there is a team that is, I'll use the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins aren't very good, so this isn't a good example, but just go with me. If the Miami Dolphins are playing the week before they play the Dallas Cowboys and they're going all the way to San Francisco to play San Francisco, which is a pretty good team, and now they have to fly all the way back across the country, and then they have to now go travel to play the Cowboys at home, I like the Cowboys' chances. So I would just like pay attention to like the dynamics of the schedule, not necessarily the actual schedule of the teams, if that makes sense. So where they're coming from, how long that flight is, all those different things, they matter. I know people want to act like it doesn't matter, but it 100% matters. Are they at home? All those different things. When is their bye week? Are the Cowboys usually good off of a bye week or bad off of a bye week? Like all of those things really matter, figuring out like where they stand and how they fall. Also too, because so the Cowboys get the Rams after a bye week. And I would be interested to see who the Rams played before they played the Cowboys. So let's look at the Rams schedule. These are my like psychotic research method. So whenever you see me make a video, these are all the things that I would do before I make a video. I'm like, okay, who were they playing before? What was their schedule? What did it look like? How did they fall? So, okay, special tidbits. The Rams, before they play the Cowboys, the week before that, they play the 49ers. That's a huge division rival game. So I'm not saying the Rams aren't going to be good when they play the Cowboys. It's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that the Rams are going to have to travel to play the 49ers, hard division rival game. And then once they do that on Sunday, the next game is against the Cowboys. Yes, it's at home, but you will have had a huge division rival game. And I'm saying this because I hate when they do this to my Steelers. So anyways, that's when I started to realize like who teams play before they play you really matters a lot, especially if you just kind of know the history of your team. So absolutely nobody asked me for that. Literally nobody asked me how would I analyze games. So I just decided to do that. So I would say I'm sorry, but I'm not, but I just like decided to do that. So if you were ever wondering how I kind of look at these schedules, that's how I look at these schedules. So there's that. Let's see. Let me go back. Okay, motivated. Off weeks are important too. Absolutely. Yeah, I think I mentioned that. I don't know if I mentioned that before or after you said it. And then sometimes an early week off is bad because the injuries pile up. Yep, 100%. And I always say too, like those teams also have schedules. So I know sometimes we always look at like our own schedule and we're like, oh, this is so bad. This is so brutal. And it's like, how is the schedule of the teams that are playing you? Like, what does their schedule look like? Because their schedule might be really tough. Who did they say has the toughest schedule in the NFL this year? Who has the hardest schedule in the NFL? So right now, as of 2 hours, thanks to Fox Sports, right now, the Bears are set to have the toughest competition in 2026, and the Browns are set to have the easiest road schedule in 2026. Wait, I read that wrong. The Bears have the hardest schedule, the toughest road schedule, and the Browns have the easiest schedule. The Cowboys are, where are the Cowboys? The Cowboys are 20th. This is for strength of schedule. So just FYI there. So Nigel, hi. Stopping to say hi. I'm excited for the season to start. Go Birds. Also, as an Eagles fan, I'm sorry we stole Lemon in the draft for y'all. You didn't steal anything. He was never ours. In order to be stolen, You have to already be somebody's, and he wasn't ours to steal. So congratulations. Let's see. Just in case anybody's wondering, the top 5 hardest strength of schedules is the Chicago Bears, the Miami Dolphins, the Green Bay Packers, Arizona Cardinals, and the Kansas City Chiefs. It's pretty interesting. But anyways, any other questions? It's kind of cool. It's kind of like riding a bike whenever I like do a live again. I need to update my thank yous. Maybe by the time you know what? Let me make myself a sticky note. Maybe by the time I go live next week, I will have updated my my thank yous so that I have so many sticky notes. It is ridiculous. I'm like ashamed by how many sticky notes I have right now. So I'm making a sticky note, but I'm telling you, like I'm going to do my best. I'm going to do my best to update and add some thank yous. But you'll only see the thank yous if you send super chats anyway. So I actually, you know what I'll do is if nobody sends a super chat when the live ends, I'll just be like, I have some new updated thank yous. Nobody saw them. Okay, let's see. Hi, Miss Football. Well, hello. That's so kind. Can you do a show on what you think is going on with Shador and the Browns? Actually, I did that already. I ranted about that for the first like 20 minutes. I don't know if it was 20 minutes. But I did talk about that at the beginning of the show because that was something I haven't made a video about. I didn't plan on. I'm not going to make a video about it. And for some people are wondering. So by the way, I talked about that at the beginning of this live, so you will be able to catch it. I like lives like this. I love that. I'm a day one fan. I appreciate your support 100%. And thank you for being a member. I think I have like a couple of members on here. So if you're a member, thank you for being a member. I appreciate you. I pinned the membership link at the top of the chat. So if you want to become a member, you can become a member and you can get some exclusive access really. So yeah, I just got on. I'll go back and watch it. Yeah, I talked about that at the beginning a little bit. And the other thing is too, is I feel like I'm a Steelers fan. So first of all, I'm a football fan. I'll talk about football because I watch it. But I'm a Steelers fan. And I mean this with love. Shador Sanders isn't a starting quarterback. So for me, there's no point in me talking about Shador Sanders where he's not the starter. And my team, that's not my team. So for me, like my fandom of my team overrides me wanting to talk about him because I'm not all up in their business. I don't want to be on the Cleveland Browns, websites. I don't want to be like, that's not my team. So just because I like Shador doesn't mean I'm paying attention to the team. I like Fred Warner. Doesn't mean I'm paying attention to what's happening with the San Francisco 49ers. I really like Fred Warner. Hell, I like Lamar Jackson. I'm not paying attention to what the Ravens are doing right now, but I do like Lamar Jackson. So my point is like, I'm not going to make a video about Shador just to make a video about Shador. So, well, if I'm live, I'll talk about him, but now during the season, that's different because my team will have to play him. But like in the off season, I'm like, no. Now if something happens, maybe, but maybe probably still not, just because like I'm a Steelers fan. I'm not paying attention. I'm not paying attention to like the Browns. Like, really? Why would I be paying attention to the Browns? Like, I got things to do, right? My freaking Texas Longhorns are trying to do something this year. I haven't even mentioned Texas this whole live. That's actually really funny that I haven't mentioned them. Well, no, I did use them as an example. But I haven't like talked about anything with them. So there's that. Anyways, I don't know why I got off on that tangent, but I got off on that tangent. So let's see. What do you think about the NFL playing more games in Europe? I hate it. I think it's ridiculous. And also, for any of you that have never been to Australia, that flight, oh my gosh, let me tell you. Okay, if you've never been to Australia, first of all, I don't like the NFL I don't mind if the international games happen like a couple of times a year, But going to Australia is disgusting. Going to Australia, they're in a, so like when it's summer here, it's winter there. When it's winter there, it's summer here, right? So we're working opposite times of the year. That flight is so brutal. It doesn't even matter. Going there, the flight is brutal. Coming home, the flight is brutal. It is brutal. It is so brutal. So that one's going to be rough, but yes, become a member. It's, it has its perks. Yeah, y'all should have picked him up. No, I don't think we should have. At first I was on this bandwagon. Now I'm not. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. You can still be a fan and speak on what's in all of our, but that's the thing. It's not in my face. I don't see it. I don't, the way my life is set up, I don't see anything because I'm not a Browns fan. So I don't see anything with him. I don't see anything with him ever, unless the only time I do see it is like when I'm on YouTube or if I'm uploading a video or if I just like, if something happens, I see it, but I don't watch big media. I don't watch all of those things. And the way my Twitter is set up, I don't see it. I also think too, because I do this NFL fan series, like right now I did the NFC East last week. And so right now all I see is like Commander stuff and Eagle stuff and Cowboy stuff and Giant stuff. So I honestly don't see it. So so that's why for me, I'm like, anytime it does come across, I actually saw somebody else's YouTube thumbnail that said, are the Browns? I don't know. It says something about the Browns and Shador. And I was like, oh God, what did they do? And so I like Googled it and I was like, oh, this is nothing. Like, this is absolutely nothing. I'm not talking about this. Like, this is off-season stuff. Like, no. He would have been a backup. Maybe. How could he not be good for y'all? Plus, we saw what he did in college. You would have to go back and listen to everything I said before. I'm not 100% convinced yet. So you would have, like I said, I don't want to be that person that like talks about something for 20 minutes and then comes back and circles back around. But, I want Shador Sanders to be successful. That's my whole, I want him to be successful. I need him to be successful. I hope he is successful. I want him to do all the things. I just know the Steelers and I know how they are. And so for me, I don't think the Steelers would have been I don't think it would have been a good place for him, especially now without Coach Tomlin. No, I don't think it would have been a good place for him. I don't think it would have been a safe place for him. And I think he's on the wrong. And let me say this. I don't think the Browns are the right team for him either. I know the Steelers wouldn't have been the right team for him just based off what I know about the Steelers as an organization. So, and that's what I always say about the NFL. And now I'm going to go off on a tangent, but that's okay. The NFL, there's only 32 teams in the NFL. Different teams, different fan bases, different systems, different structures allow you the opportunity to really grow and develop and to be who you're trying to be. Not everybody allows for that space, i.e. the Steelers. The Steelers, I don't see them being like a developmental team when it comes to certain positions, quarterback being one of them, because for so long we've been so blessed with having good quarterbacks. So to come into that, I don't know, even with like Will Howard and Drew Aller, I don't know how patient this fan base is going to be. Well, none of them have played yet, so it doesn't matter. So for me, I don't think this would have been a good place for him because that is not a good place for a developing quarterback. Now, if he goes to the Rams, or if he goes to the 49ers, if he goes somewhere where it feels like they want to like develop their quarterback a little bit more, New Orleans feels like that. You know, certain teams are willing to work with the quarterback a little bit. And I think that's a good place for him. So that's just how I feel. And again, it's not really about Shador per se. It's more about like how I feel like some of these teams in the NFL are structured and how they treat people and what I see and what I hear and see in their fan bases. So that's all I'm saying. So let's see. I got you. I'll go listen to it. I definitely think he'll be, yeah. I think Shador's on the wrong team. Oh, that's funny. I do too. And I think, and maybe team isn't the right word. Maybe he's with the wrong organization, but maybe he can make lemons out of lemonades. more political with the Steelers. I think it's also, I think it's political with a lot of these teams, because a lot of these teams are very, like, as a Steelers fan, I'm so privileged. Like, I know that I'm a privileged Steelers fan. That's part of being a Steelers fan. You get a little bit of privilege because, of your history. Now, everybody will be like, yeah, the Steelers haven't been good. The Steelers have been in the playoffs, whereas most teams would do anything to get into the playoffs. Most teams would do anything to have a 10-win season. We've done that consistently. So that's why it's like this. If he went to a better team, he would have developed faster. Potentially. Yeah. The Browns they're the Browns. I mean, they're the Browns. It is what it is. They're the Browns. Respectfully. Makes total sense. Miss Black and Yellow. Yeah. That's just how I feel. But anyways, I've been on for about an hour. I don't know if anybody has any last questions or anything. I am, like I said at the beginning of this, I'm going to try to do this once a week. My hope is on Friday. And I will be honest. I really wish that I could go live at like 4, from like 4 to 5 on Friday. But my window's from like 4 to 6. My goal is going to be from 4 to 6. And yeah, that's going to be my goal every week, 4 to 6. I'm going to do my best. No, I'm not going to do my best. I'm just going to do it. The only time I will not be live is on May 29th, because that is my birthday. So there's that. But does anybody else have any other questions, comments, or anything? If you have questions, I will answer them. Oh, and then I have my sticky note to make more thank yous. I have some really sexy pictures that I should actually use to make that. So I don't know if anybody can hear me. I'm just kind of mumbling down low for the mat. I do have a Facebook page. I'm not as active on Facebook. I'm actually really active on Instagram. My Instagram, I am extremely active there. So if you're looking to, like, if you want more of me and you just can't get enough, if you have an Instagram, I have Instagram. I do have Facebook though. I mean, it's really flawed on Facebook, but I'm also on Instagram, and I post a ton on Instagram, honestly. If you go look in any video that I post, I usually have a link tree. And in my link tree, you will see like all of my socials, so that you can find me wherever you want to find me. If you want to find me. Yeah, if you got my Instagram, then that is where I'm at the most. And it's quicker. I feel like it's quicker there. So I do that. And then I have a subscription on Instagram. So there's that. And then I have my membership too on YouTube. So yeah, I have so much, like, sometimes I feel like I have so much stuff that like nobody cares about, but I just like post stuff. So I don't know. I don't know. I just always feel like nobody cares about this, girl. You're crazy. And I just post a bunch of stuff. So there's that. So yeah. Okay. Awesome. Okay. I'm behind. How did I get behind in like 2 seconds? Okay. Hold on. I'm at Eagles. However, Steelers get much respect. You have Facebook. That's the one I saw. You're so beautiful. Well, thank you. That is very kind of you to say. I want more. I got your IG. Can you post a day ahead when you're going? You know what? Yes. That is good feedback. Let me write that down. Hold on. That's really good feedback. It's really good feedback. You know what though? I can do that. Yeah, I'll do it after the video premieres for my NFL fan series. So let me write that as a note. So post a day ahead of live. Okay. I got it on my stickies. And listen, once it's on my sticky note, okay, that's an easy one though. I really want to work on these thank yous. I have too many cute pictures to not have better thank yous. You know what I'm saying? So I will do that. I will take care of that. Okay, here's your welcome. Where do you get all the time? I appreciate I don't know. I have no idea where I get time from. I have no clue where I get time from. I have no idea anything. I have no idea where I get these ideas from. I have no idea. If you're a member or subscribed or anything, you will also see like behind the scenes sometimes. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I have some ideas. I'm just going to think through all these ideas. I don't know where I get the time. I don't know how I make it happen. But you know what I've realized is I really love it. I really love creating content and I really love talking about football. And I really love giving my perspective because sometimes it's in my mind and I'm like, does that even make sense? Like, does that even make sense? And then I'll make a video and I'll watch it back and I'm like, it kind of makes sense. That actually kind of makes sense. So then I'm like, I think I like this, So I don't know. Sometimes I just go with it. I just do what I'm comfortable with. And what I'm comfortable with is talking about football. And so I talk about football. And some people will be like, why don't you talk about other sports? I'm like, where do you think I'm going to find the time? I watch other sports. But where do you think I'm going to find the time to actually make a video, edit the video, upload the video, create a thumbnail, do all these things, sleep, drink water, hydrate, have fun, live life, right? Like, where am I finding all this time? Like, I can barely do what I'm doing now. So anyways, I'm off on a tangent. I'm really good at going off on tangents. I said I was going to end this 5 minutes ago, guys, and you guys keep asking questions and look at me. See, I'm out of practice. I'm undisciplined. I'm an undisciplined live streamer. Is that a real thing? Live streamer? Am I an undisciplined live streamer? I don't really think that. I don't even think that that's the right thing. So you look great. Thank you. Hello, Really Flawed. Hello. How are you? I hope that you're doing well. Hope that you're doing so well. Let's see. Another question. How important is it for us to like, heart all the comments we post and even the ones that others post on Facebook, Instagram? Also, what platform gives you the most positive impact for your benefit? Ooh, what a question. So it's extremely, and I should do a better job of being like, hey, like the video. So if you haven't already, the thing is, I can't even see how many likes I have. I know everybody thinks it looks like I know what I'm doing all the time, but the truth is I don't always know what I'm doing. So it just kind of looks like I know what I'm doing. So this is your reminder to stop what you're doing and hit the like button. So if you're watching this and you have not hit that like button, make sure that you hit the like button. And it's super helpful. So hitting the like button, the most important thing you can do for me, there's two things. The first thing on YouTube is hitting the like button and watching the video from start to finish. Those are the two most important things on YouTube. And not just for me, for all YouTube people. And then the third thing would be what did I say? Hit the like button. Oh, and the other thing would be make sure you add something in the comment section. Even if in the comment section, you're just like, hey, I really liked such and such video. I've recently learned a really great thing that you could do for YouTube people when you watch their video is to timestamp a video in the comment section, because that shows people where to go. And it also is an engagement piece. So I just learned that through my YouTube school that I take myself through to learn what the hell I'm doing and try to act like I know what I'm doing. So it's super important for you to like the video, super important for you to like the video, super important for you to watch the entire video, and very important for you to leave a comment in the comment section. Like, those are the three things I think are super important. And then I have a hype button, because I think under 10,000 subscribers or something like that, you have a hype button. So all that's important. And then which platform gives you the most positive impact for your benefit? That's a really good question. I mean, I don't know if there's like one answer for that. So I don't know if there's one answer for that, because I believe what happens. And so on Instagram, I have my biggest following is on Instagram, because I think I have like 17,000 or 16,000 subscribers there. So anytime you like something, engage with something over there, that's super helpful. And then I obviously have my subscriber thing over there, and then I have my membership here. What I think happens, I can't really prove this, but this is what I think happens, is the more people just engage with you, the more they're going to pump you out into like different places. So I think they're all super important. It's just to make sure that you're like engaging with the content, because that's the other thing. It's like, and engaging in the content is literally like hitting the like button and leaving a comment in the comment section. And I respond to all my comments because I love responding to all my comments, but I think that that's super important to do. So there's that. Thank you for asking. TGIF, hope you have a good evening, weekend. Thank you. That's a really good question though. I appreciate that. Hey, nice surprise. Happy Friday. Hi. I am going to try to do a live every Friday for the next 90 days. That is the hope. So I'm going to try to do my best. Also, thank you for becoming a member, or thank you for being a member. Actually, you've been a member for a while. I thought you only needed to watch 30 seconds of a video and y'all get full credit from YouTube. So, yes and no. So, do I get credit saying that you viewed the video? Yes. But does that help with engagement? No. And I'm sure if you've been around YouTube for like the past 4 months, it seems like everyone, like especially big creators, have been like complaining because YouTube changed the way they do things. And one of the ways they did things is they want people engaging with your content. And when you engage with content, engaging in content is hitting the like button, watching the entire video, and leaving a comment in the comment section. That is true engagement of a video. So if you just watch, and this again, this is just not for me. This is for all you people that put out videos on YouTube. Even for TikTok, the same thing is true. If you click on somebody's video, watch their video from start to finish, and if you feel inclined to, leave them an emoji in the comment section. That is the true markings of engaging. So 30 seconds isn't just 30 seconds isn't engaging. 30 seconds is like you decided to click the video and you get the view, but you don't get the engagement. And the engagement is what everybody is seeking, is engaging, because that lets YouTube know, like, oh my gosh, people really like her. Like, she's putting, every time she puts out a video, people are watching it from start to finish. Now, some people would say they watch my videos because they just want to see what I'm wearing, and that's okay. That's okay if you watch my videos because you want to see what I'm wearing. Somebody said to me, they're like, I will be honest with you. I watch your videos because I want to see what you're wearing, but I also like to like hear what you have to say. And I'm like, I'm okay with that. So that's fine. He just said that's false. I'm a content creator too. What are you saying it's false? Engaging in content is bad? Is that what's false? Engaging with content? So I can't wait to see you. Well, Sunday through Thursday, I'll have a video. And then I will also have, I'll do this every Friday. What starts after 120 seconds? I don't even know what you're talking about. And also, I don't know if you've been here the whole time, but I was actually answering a question about 30 seconds. So I'm not sure what that's about. Anyways, anybody else have any questions, comments, or concerns before I head out? That would be amazing. I need to, I was waiting to see what he was trying to say after 120 seconds. Because the one thing about me, I am down to learn. You know what I'm saying? I don't ever act like I know everything. So if somebody else has something that I can learn, teach me. I am a woman that wants to learn, okay? You don't get your PhD and you don't want to learn. So if you have anything to share, let me know, because I would love to learn, and I will learn from anybody, because learning is what keeps the world going around. Education is what people want to take from us. So if people want to take education, that means education is super important. So you want to be educated. I just realized I don't have an ending. So as soon as I hit end, it is going to oh. I don't know. So that's engagement. Yeah. I was telling him. Okay. Anyways. Oh, y'all were having y'all's own conversation. Okay, cool. Anyways, I'm going to end this live. I will be back next Friday, and I have my sticky note of actions that I have been told to do. So I will post the live a day ahead. So I will post it on Thursday, because that is what I have been asked to do. So I will take care of that. And then I am going to try and create at least 1 or 2 more thank yous, so that when I get super chats, I will play the thank yous, and then it will be good. And because those are kind of, I don't know how old those are, but it feels like they're old. So anyways, if you have any other questions, comments, concerns, leave them. If you watch this on playback and you have questions, comments, concerns you want me to talk about next week's live, drop them in the comment section, because I would love to answer any questions or any thoughts or any comments or anything that anyone wants to share with me in the comment section. So if you're listening to this and you have questions or you have something you want me to answer, make sure you drop those in the comment section of this video. If you are a member, anytime I drop a new video, members, you can always ask me questions in the comment section. I will always answer those either in that comment section, or I'll answer it live. So that way you all feel like if you have something that you want me to answer, or if you see something in the news, or if you see something and you're like, I wonder. Oh, also, before I end this, never think that I have seen everything, because most times I don't see it. Most times I don't. So if it is something that is like about my team or whatever, I will see it. I see most things. I don't see everything. So I'm just calling that out, because I don't want anybody to assume that I saw a story. And then the last thing is I repeat, I try not to talk about anything off the field. If it is on the field, if it is about the team and the makeup of the team, I will talk about it. Everything else, I don't care. I don't give a damn about anybody else's drama. I don't care about who's sleeping with who. I hope everybody has fun when they're having fun with each other. And with that, I am going to end this live, and I don't have an ending that will hit this. So it's just going to end, and it's going to get really awkward. So there's that. But thank you all for being here. And like I said before, I will definitely do my part and make sure that I schedule the live for you. So I will talk to you next week. Bye.